Hi, today I'm making Bučnica or strudel made out of zucchini and cheese. So we'll be making a stretch dough, and then as a filling we'll be using zucchini and cottage cheese mixture with the eggs. So we'll be making a dough out of the flour, some butter, eggs and water and a little bit of a salt. So we'll be mixing it all this together until we get a nice smooth textured stretch dough. So and then we'll be stretching it. So zucchini is the favorite summer vegetable, also is known to be a fruit, but it's mostly made out of the water, but it's very good source of it has a high content of vitamin C, carbohydrates, protein and fiber, and also contains a significant amount of potassium, folate and vitamin A, which are all important for our good health. So you can buy them or grow them yellow and the green one, and you're also cooking the skin, which actually the skin is the source of the fiber, so it's really good to add to your diet. So, and it's mostly you don't really eat it raw, which you can as well, but it's mostly being cooked in different ways, on a barbecue, you know, in a little dishes, whatever. So you can use it however you want it, but today I'm showing you how to use it in a dough. So also the cheese, it's the fresh cottage cheese, like, so this is made from the cow's milk, and this kind, it's very soft and white cheese with a mild flavor. So you can also get it with the different fat levels. This one that I use, I think it's like only about 3% of the fat. So also cheese is very good source of the protein and some carbs, and low on the fat, and then has phosphorus, sodium, vitamin B12, riboflavin, calcium, folate, so all healthy ingredients for our diet. So also like for this, because this is more like it's not really a dessert, it should be a side dish. So it's up to you, but I like it needs to be a little bit more salty, so depend of the saltness of your cheese that you have, and also like, because zucchini doesn't really have salt in it, so you will want to add it so you have a nice flavor, otherwise it will be like kind of tasteless, right? Like if you don't add some salt. So it's based on your taste buds, what you like. So we'll be preparing the zucchini. So like I said, you use everything, the whole thing. So you wash your zucchini, and then we'll be shredding it like on the shredding tool. So until you get like this, it's like the same thing as you were shredding the apples. So continue doing that, and because it's a high source of the water, once your shredding is done, you might want to salt it a little bit and let it sit, and this way it will release the water, which you can squeeze it out, so it will not be too much water in your strudel. And then so you press cottage cheese, you kind of work with your hand, so becomes nice and soft, and you get rid of big bumps, and you squeeze your zucchini, and you will be adding the eggs and some sour cream, and then you will mixing it all this together until you get a nice it's all mixed up nicely, and you get a nice consistency. And then this is what we're going to use for our filling. So depend how you okay, yeah, so we'll be stretching in our dough. So this is all about the skill and you know, depend of your dough. So once you make it, you let it sit for a little bit. If it's not stretching as much, you can always add some oil. That will gonna help you stretch it out as much, and you also be working with your hands. So this one, it's all about practicing and doing it many times. And so patient. So also don't overstretch it, because you can get the holes in there. But if you do, then just roll it up and we'll be fine. If you don't want to make your own dough, what you can do, you can also buy like the ready-made sheets, and you can also use it for this. But because it's a little bit thicker, needs to be a little bit thicker dough, so then you will have to use a couple of sheets together. I believe I don't use it much, but anyway, you want to make it a little bit thicker, otherwise because of the zucchini and the cheese it might become a little bit too wet, and then it will not work as much. So once you stretch all your dough, then we'll be spreading the zucchini and cheese mixture on the top of our dough. Also, what you will want it to do is sprinkle some oil on top of the dough and also your cheese mixture, because like I said, everything is low fat, like the cheese and the zucchinis. So you don't want your pastry to be too dry. So you want it to have a little bit softness, and depend how you're gonna like this dish. It could be baked in a few different ways. So now we have like our dough, it's all stretched, and we have covered with the filling, and then we can start rolling it. And the good way, or this is just a different way also to roll it, strudel, is to do it from the both sides, and then creating like the figure 8 shape, like when you're gonna be cutting it. It's up to you, you can cut it however. Also, so this is all about preferences, and people do it different ways. If you want a softer version of this, then you can do it as a peczenie strukli or strudel, where you would put it in a deeper dish and then cover with more mixture of the milk and sour cream, and then you can bake it covered. So this way you will have a very soft dough. If you wanted more a crusty version of it, then you will bake it on a cookie sheet, and then just spread a little bit of the oil or the sour cream on the top, and then bake it this way. And this way you're gonna get a little bit more crusty dough, so it's gonna be harder, but also a little bit different taste, right? I like it more crusty. So what you can also do it, you can cut it in pieces however you want to be serving it. So this way your both ends will be baked, rather than just you know, just when you're like doing like this. So you have, and when you be cutting it, then you have lots of soft pieces. So really up to you. So this is one way to put it in a deeper dish. And then, as if you watch my zapečenie strukli, the same thing, you will be making a mixture of the milk and the sour cream, and then you pour it over on the top of this ready-made dough in the filling, and then cover it and put it in the oven. I'll be making it a little bit different, so this is just to show you. I'll be baking it on a cookie sheet. So the pieces that I have made, I'm just gonna arrange it like this, and then we'll just be baking it. So the sour cream, actually what happens when you bake it, it becomes like darker, and it's not burnt, it's just the way it looks like. And people always ask me, oh, you put some chocolate on the top, and so this is how it really looks like. But yeah, so that's what the sour cream does when you bake it. So this one is halfway, kind of, it's not too crusty, but also this is how it looks like. So you see your zucchinis in there and some cheese, and I like this ends when they're really nicely baked, so that makes them a little bit crusty. So it's really about your preference how you're gonna bake it.